Nelson Mandela was a great leader. All his life, he fought for racial equality in South Africa. And in 1994, he became the first black president of the country. Rolihlahla Mandela was born in a small village called Mvizo in the southwest of the country. A teacher at his first school in Qunu gave him the name Nelson. When he was a young man, Nelson Mandela worked as a lawyer, but he loved politics. In 1948, the South African government introduced apartheid. Apartheid separated black people and white people. It was a system of racial inequality. White people lived in large, beautiful houses in rich areas. But black people lived in shanty towns, areas with very poor houses. They didn't go to the same schools, see the same doctors, or use the same beaches as white people, and they couldn't vote in elections. Many people in South Africa fought for equal rights, and Nelson Mandela was one of their leaders. But in 1963, the white South African government put him in prison. Mandela was in prison for 27 years, but the people of South Africa didn't forget him. While he was in prison, he became a national and international hero. Finally, in 1991, apartheid ended and he left prison. He walked down the streets of Cape Town and gave a speech here at the City Hall. He continued the fight against apartheid. On the 10th of May 1994, Nelson Mandela won the first equal elections in South Africa's history and became president. However, today, South African society is still very unequal. It will take a long time to change this inequality. But Nelson Mandela made a huge difference. He retired from politics in 1999, but he continued to fight for peace and equality until he died in 2013 at the age of 95.
Unit 7, Curriculum Extra, Exercise 2.
The Elephant Man. We gave Merrick 2 rooms at the back of the hospital. One room was a bathroom, so he could have a bath every day. Soon his skin was much better, and there was no horrible smell. The second room had a bed, table, and chairs. I visited him every day and talked to him. He loved reading and talking about books. But sometimes it was difficult for him. At first, 1 or 2 people in the hospital laughed at Merrick because he was ugly. Sometimes they brought their friends to look at him. One day, a new nurse came to the hospital, and nobody told her about Merrick. She took his food to his room and opened the door. Then she saw him. She screamed, dropped the food on the floor, and ran out of the room. "People don't like looking at me. I know that, Dr. Treves," he said. "They usually laugh or scream." "Well, I don't want nurses to laugh at you, Joseph," I said angrily. "I want them to help you." "Thank you, Doctor," he said in his strange, slow voice, "but it's not important. Everyone laughs at me. I understand that." I looked at him sadly. In his one good hand, his left hand, he had the little picture of his mother. He looked at the picture for a minute and then put it by a flower on the table. A tear ran out of his eye and down the skin of his enormous, ugly face.